During my time as a driver for MBI, I had a chance to see what it means when workers don't have a voice in the workplace. For me and my coworkers, it meant working as long as 16 to sometimes 18 hours a day on a constant basis. It meant contracts that would appear out of nowhere. What had happened there was that we got paid $66 a load. And as soon as we saw representation from the union, outside contractors came in. They laid off 3 of our workers. 1 of our workers got laid off for 2 hours. We started dumping under a landfill, and they started paying us $48 a load and didn't tell us until a week afterwards. Now, when we first approached the Teamsters about organizing our workplace, the response of my co-workers was overwhelming, as I had said. Immediately, we had 12 committed out of the 14, that we all signed organizing cards. And that's when the union busting campaign really started. They were fed a constant stream of misinformation, and we were pitted against one another. They found a chink in our armor is what happened. See, there's out-of-town drivers and in-town drivers, where we dump out in David City. But what would happen is that phone calls were made up until the night before the election, these out-of-town drivers, and they said, we're going to get a new maintenance building with a wash bay. Promises, promises. And if we get this new maintenance building and we're a union, you out-of-town drivers aren't going to be able to drive your vehicles home anymore. You're going to have to drive your private vehicle 70 miles one way. Almost $3 a gallon. Who can afford to do that, right? This was the night before the election, folks. You've got something to lose, pal. 2 guys just had newborn babies. We did lose the election. But let no one pretend that this was a fair fight. What we went through was a fraud. It was neither secret, nor balanced, nor fair. Because you can't have a fair election when only one side gets a hold of all the power.